Thank you for listening to the Flying High Club podcast in association with the World Aviation Festival 2024 in Amsterdam. We've been delighted to be able to bring you this, and it wouldn't have been possible without our sponsors, Flyware. Flyware are experts in aviation and travel space, providing tech outsourcing services focused on increasing revenue and making your operations more efficient. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to bring you what we are bringing you today. And more importantly, what we need you to do is, if you want to find out more about Flyware, please check the caption below for more details. Thank you for subscribing and keep following us. Keep flying high. Welcome everyone to day 3 at World Aviation Festival in Amsterdam 2024. The Flying High Club podcast is with you here, and it's another great day. We've got some great guests lined up for you, and we're starting the day with a very exciting CEO to talk to us about low-cost, long-haul travel, and also about how we got into this industry and what they're up to right now. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Bjorn Larsen. Welcome to the Flying High Club.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming along. Well, look, we're here in the midst of the World Aviation Festival coming to an end on the last day. You've been here for the last few days. I wanted to ask you, like I've asked all our guests, why are conferences and festivals like this so important in our industry?
There is only one reason for that, and that is to meet people. Nothing beats that you actually physically meet people that you otherwise wouldn't meet or have the chance to interact with. It's all about people, and it's simple as that.
Yeah, perfect. That's really important, and that's one of the reasons why we always do face-to-face.
Yeah.
It's about that connection with people.
And I hate Teams or Zooms or things like that when it comes to connecting.
Yeah.
It's all right for a quick checkup or status report or something like that, but there's only one way to connect, and that is meeting physically.
Yeah, we echo that sentiment.
Good.
And in terms of walking around, there are a lot of vendors here, a lot of people you'll obviously be familiar with as well.
Yep.
What have been your takeaways from the festival?
Actually, there's a lot of vendors I'm not familiar with, so that's another good reason.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of companies that I didn't know exist, and tells more about me than them. But it's fascinating to see how many people who are creative, who are innovative, who think outside of the box. Great solutions for airlines, great solutions for customers, and a lot of these companies, they didn't exist 10 years ago, for example, nor did my airline engagement. So seeing that part of the business, particularly on the software technology side, I think is very exciting. Yeah.
And do you think that, you mentioned their technology, I think it feels like we're on the cusp of something, because as you said, maybe 10 years ago, these type of conferences, someone would be selling you MRO parts or components that you'd be using within your business. It definitely feels like there's a shift.
I didn't go to these conferences 10 years ago. I wasn't even in aviation. So it's my first conference of this kind, and I can't compare really to any other conference. I just see that there is a lot of focus on things that I don't think were there 3 or 4 years ago to that extent. And it's good. On the other side, I think also this business really is in dire need of innovation in many ways.
Yeah. No, makes absolute sense. And going back to yourself, Bjorn, like you said, you weren't always in aviation. We get different paradigms of guests that come on here, some that have always come through it, some that have joined it very recently. So can you give us a bit of your background and how it all started for you?
Sure. So my background is in shipping, maritime ship owning and ship operations. That's where I spent all my career. And started a company in '89 that has developed into what it is today. And today it's a very I would say people heavy company. We have 31,000 employees in the shipping side, and it's really all about having great individuals working together to become good teams, so that we can deliver what the customers want. And when we started the airline business, we had the same mindset. It's aircraft is one thing, and basically every airline can have the same type of aircraft. Not that many manufacturers anyway, but it's the people that works together to create an airline, to create a customer experience, to create a competitive product that will make it or break it.
Yeah. So what possessed you guys to, as you said, it sounds like maritime transportation, logistics, all these type of things are working well. It's a thriving business.
It is.
I'm sure it has its own challenges, but I imagine
Sure.
you've experienced some different challenges coming into the aviation industry.
Yeah.
What pushed that pivot?
Opportunity. So COVID grounded a lot of airlines, and including long-haul operators, and we were able to, get into some very competitive lease contracts that was long-term, and there were no other takers at that particular period in time. Nobody knew when the world would open up or if it would be back to normal anytime soon. And for us it was really an opportunity in a very short window when competition was very small. So you have to grab the opportunity when you see it. Having said that, one thing is getting competitive cost of capital, but of course you still have to crack the operational code, and we have spent a couple of years refining our concept, disrupting ourselves even, and we're seeing that we are starting to harvest of the initial strategy. Not so much, but the changes we have made, we're starting to see good results.
But a couple of things I'm already picking up from you here, Bjorn, is it's quite a brave step when everyone is consolidating cash, not sure if they will have employees. I mean, you've got 31,000 employees to take care of already, and then COVID comes along and we're not sure what this industry would look like. There you are with your team and your boards looking at that opportunity. Did you think it was brave, or actually you were genuinely passionate about the fact that you saw an opportunity that you believed that you could enter that market and deliver something of value?
I mean, we saw that we could enter the market at an ideal time. That is really what it bottomed out to. Whether it's brave or overly confident or even stupid, I don't know. But it's seeing the opportunity and go for it. You can't do it halfway. So we saw the opportunity. We decided to move on it, and I still think it was the right thing to do. I think we should have done a few things better in our in the way we were setting up, and we've been learning by doing to some extent. But we are fast learners, and we try not to repeat our mistakes.
And that's been kind of the theme, I think, when we speak to leaders like yourself. It's absolutely, learning fast, failing fast, and learning from that and moving forward.
True.
Are there any kind of overlaps from maritime business that you definitely see as both positives and negatives that you see within this industry?
There is. I mean, the people side is similar in the sense that you need great people who work together. You need chemistry between those great people, and you need to let those great people develop and go where they want to go. But on the other side, the great people, it's very easy to say, and it's in many ways used as a cliche. In our case, it's very often finding people who have zero experience. I'll take intelligence over experience any day, because experience, you can be a great person, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can contribute to our organization the way we want it. We want you to be a disruptive mindset. We want you to challenge the existing rules, or in rules in terms of business rules, if you see what I mean, or see other opportunities. And sometimes if you are too experienced in a certain field, you probably won't see it, because you have already been taught into a special way of thinking. So I really want to see more disruptive people into the business, and we are actively seeking for that, and we have been able to get some very good talents on board.
And that's, I'm sure for our viewers, that would be music to their ears, because I think it can be quite an intimidating industry to walk into, like you say, with a lot of experience. People generally know each other. They've been around.
The problem of the business, in my mind, is the legacy. And I mean that in the sense that historically, particularly if you fly international or even intercontinental, there has been a sort of national flavor to every airline. And it has been supported by local government. It has been a flag carrier. It has been a national pride. And very often it has been more pride than business that has been setting the standards and driving the way you're setting up your business. It's this is a big difference from shipping. Shipping is a very, I would say, true competitive business, where any ship owner from anywhere in the world, including Norway, can fight for a cargo between Brazil and China.
Yeah.
You can't do that in aviation. It's very protected.
Yes.
Airlines have been protected, and in a way, that protection has made them less efficient creatures than they otherwise would have been if they would have been exposed to true competition. Within Europe, you see true competition, but intercontinentally, you don't.
Yeah. So you're a big fan of that open skies?
Absolutely, 100%.
And deregulation?
And not for my sake, but for the customer's sake.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And we've seen that, and I think that touches upon where we're getting to, Lanzit, in terms of talking about Norse then. So what is Norse? If I was to, we're telling our customers, viewers that are listening, what is Norse and what does it bring to the aviation industry?
Well, Norse is very simply put a long-haul airline that offers customers great value for money. We have lower cost than our competition for a number of reasons. We pass that saving on to the customer, and we are not everything for everybody. We are more focused on the leisure market. We are point-to-point, and we are mainly flying between America and Europe, but we have a few other destinations as well in Africa and in Asia, and we are doing a lot of charter flights, particularly in the winter month. So we are an ACMI operator, we are flying charters, we are flying cruise customers, and we are taking people, or rather researchers and scientists, to the Antarctica. We do all these things because our aircraft are very capable, and so is our crew.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So, you talk about value, and I think that's really key. As you said, you have a lot of legacy airlines that are established in these markets. Is your model to compete in those existing markets, or is it about secondary airports? How are you going about this?
Our model is very simple. We need to keep our cost low. That's number one. We need to go in big markets where there is a true need for our product. We don't want to go and create a market or stimulate it where it didn't exist. We really want to fly where there are customers already having that demand, and we are there, I would say, in addition to the existing airlines. I think the fact that we are coming in, even lower cost and lower fares, is stimulating a market. I think we are making the cake bigger, not necessarily taking away other people's bread.
Yeah, no, makes sense, and I think that's always been the mistake, I think, perceived by legacy carriers, that the low cost, the value model is here to take market share, when actually it's about creating an opportunity within that market that, as you say, is triggering
we
demand.
enable more people to travel, to get their dreams fulfilled, to see other continents, to study abroad. For what we are doing is really enabling more people who otherwise couldn't fly to fly. It's simple as that. And it's, still majority of the world's population has never been in an aircraft.
Yeah, and
the vast majority.
And we need to change that.
Yeah.
So that's great. Bjorn, in terms of network, then, can you share a bit more about? I don't know if you can share any plans of upcoming places you're looking to go to.
Yeah.
As you say, you focus currently on Europe and North Atlantic, but what are the plans?
We're quite happy with our current network. So we flew this summer we're flying, and even into the winter, a very US-centric. JFK is our biggest airport. We fly to London, Paris, Rome, Athens, Berlin, Oslo, for example, and we are flying quite a bit to and from LA. We are flying to Orlando, Miami. Those are important airports for us in America, serving different cities in Europe, and that's the core of the business.
Yes.
We're also flying to Bangkok, flying to Cape Town, starting this winter. Actually, it's going to be very, very exciting, from London to Cape Town, and then we have also a winter route going from London to Vegas. But I don't think you'll expect to see a lot of changes, because it works.
Yeah.
And we want to hone and fine tune what we're doing rather than try to invent a lot of new stuff. Okay. The big difference is this winter compared to last is that we're flying much more charters.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, and then from a customer proposition, you talked about customer experience, obviously making travel accessible.
Yeah.
But what can a customer expect when traveling with Norse?
They can expect a great product. They can expect exactly the same type of service or comfort or beyond that they would get from our competitors, but at a better price. And the reason we can have a better price is that we have lower cost. Yeah. It's simple as that. And we want to continue that model where we have a very simple business model. We're flying point to point. We have much smaller G&A than others. We have one aircraft type. All this, and we have great capital costs. So all this translates into lower costs that we pass on to the customer. But then again, we are not a hub and spoke. We don't have loyalty programs. We don't have a lot of frills that others might have.
Yes.
But if you want to go from, let's say Paris to New York or London to LA or Oslo to Bangkok, you're going to have the best value for money, and you're going to love the product. And the product is not only the seats, the aircraft, but it's the crew. Yeah. I think we have the best crew in the world.
Yeah.
I think
so. That's always good to hear.
Yeah.
That passion for the crew and the people who are, as you say, serving our customers. So that's brilliant to hear. So it looks like more consolidation. There's a bit of growth going on.
Yep.
Do you mentioned you haven't got loyalty programs and you're not looking for those frills. Is there a plan around partnerships? I know you were looking at these strategic partnerships. Is that something that you're really focused on, or is it about looking, again, similar to when you came into the market, finding the right opportunities?
We're focused on our own business. We had a sort of a couple of discussions which we communicated to the market, and learned a bit from those discussions. But I think at this point in time, our focus will be to develop our own airline and do it as good as we can.
Yeah, it sounds exciting. Sounds definitely exciting, and I think it's something to watch. The Norse Atlantic is something I think as customers and viewers we definitely need to keep an eye on. So that's going to be fantastic. I want to move back to you now, Bjorn. In terms of your career, although, like you say, new to the industry, clearly not in terms of when we look at the wider industry, in terms of logistics and obviously running large corporations. I want you to think about your career now and think about your proudest moments so far. I'm sure there's more to come, considering what's coming with Norse. But right now, what would you consider as your proudest moment to date?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have any particular moments that makes me proud. I'm humble, rather. And surprised by what we have been able to achieve. I think we've done great, but it's not because of me, but it's really because I have had one good skill. I've been good in attracting the right people and putting them together as teams, because I couldn't single-handedly done anything of what they are doing close to the quality of or output that they achieve. So I'm proud when I see the teams that we have exceeding and taking ownership, and they own the business, not I don't. That makes me proud.
I know, and I think that's, like you say, quite humbling. Actually, it's quite nice to hear that as well. So you talk about bringing the right people together. Very big here about encouraging people to join the industry, bring skills into the industry. What do those right people look like? What are the things that you're looking for? Obviously, there'll be niches in terms of specific roles, but you talked about finding someone who has the intelligence over the experience. But actually, what are the things that if I was to ask you the 3 skills or 3 or 4 skills you're looking for when you're looking to hire talent, the right fits, what are those things you're looking for?
Yeah, well, one is intelligence, obviously. You can teach a lot, but not that. You need passion for what we are going to do. So you really need to want to build what we are building, not just go and do some transactional stuff. You need to love working, being a part of a team, to put the team and the mission above your own aspirations. Ultimately, that's going to give you a lot of opportunities, and you have to be a likable person. People, we are here to have fun at the same time when we're building a business, and you do that when people have good chemistry and have fun together. So we have to like each other as well. It's not really hard, but it's important.
But it goes about empathetic nature, the fact that you can communicate, all those things.
But you can also be very competitive. I love that. I'm probably a bit competitive myself.
Given the space you're in, I think that's needed. So
you have to be competitive.
Makes sense.
And we shouldn't feel joy when we don't hit our targets. Then we should cry together or shout together for a few seconds and then move on and then hit the next ones, because we are hitting more and more of the goals that we have been putting forward. Of course, then we're going to raise the bar, obviously. So we always have something to strive for. But we need that always on competitive nature, and that's. It's very cool to be part of such a group.
Yeah, I can see the juices flowing as you're talking about it. That's very great. So now, again, you as an individual, Bjorn, can you tell us some of the best advice you've got coming through your career?
Best advice I've got? That's a good question. I think, I think it's a couple of things here.
Yeah.
Number one, when you're sort of into the micros, is don't listen to other people, what they are, I've been getting so much expert advice, and the best advice I have is don't listen to it all. You have to find your own way, you have to understand what you're doing and not copycat somebody else. Zooming out, don't take yourself too seriously, because we are only on this planet for a short period of time. And sometimes we seem to propagate or make things much bigger than they are. This is ultimately something that we want to enjoy while we're here.
Yes.
So don't go too deep.
Yeah. No, it's a great way actually. That zoom in, zoom out. Actually,
Yeah.
both of them having that advice. So thank you for sharing that. And I think, look, given that you've started a business in this industry, talking to people who are joining this industry or are in this industry, why should people choose a career in aviation?
It's a good question. It's like, why should somebody start to play chess? I mean, it's got to be something you're interested in. If you don't think aviation is an interesting business, do something else.
Yeah.
I think aviation still has the attraction of a lot of people. A few things you have to convince people to be, if you want to run a biscuit factory, for example, some people would love that, and many people needed a little bit of persuasion. Aviation, you really don't have to persuade people.
Yeah.
People love aviation, maybe too much.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we want that to continue, so that's really great. I'm very conscious of time, and I know I've got your teams making sure that you got to get away as well. So I want to move on to a very endeared segment that we have on our podcast. It's called the Quick Fire Round.
Okay.
We're going to ask you some industry-related questions, just
Oh,
looking
there.
for your one-word, two-word answers. It's quite a fun segment. A lot of these questions have been curated from our viewers. So
Okay.
if you're ready,
Let's go.
We'll go now. All right. Favorite aircraft type?
Boeing 747,
Okay. Favorite airport?
JFK,
JFK. Okay. Window or aisle?
aisle,
Okay. Chicken or beef?
beef,
Beef. Okay. One item that you can't travel without?
passport.
Fair enough. Strangest in-flight experience you've ever had?
Not going to tell you.
Brilliant. We'll let the imaginations run wild on that one. Dream destination you haven't visited yet?
Given that I went to Antarctica last year, then North Pole.
Amazing. Okay, great. Your earliest...
Space.
You've done this before.
No. So I'll take it back. Space.
Okay, space. I like it. Earliest aviation memory?
When I saw a bunch of F-104 starfighters flying over my house when I was a kid in a formation. I'll never forget it, and I think I was probably 3-4 years old and I was bitten.
Wow, amazing.
Ever since, flying has been in my blood.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Things that inspire you most about this industry?
To people.
Yeah. Okay. Things that you hate most about this industry? I was about to say people.
People who refuse to change their mindset when clearly they should.
Yeah. Okay. Your worst travel experience? We don't have to name names, but I don't want to get you in trouble.
In hindsight, I think they're all interesting. I'm still alive, so it's probably yet to come.
Yeah. Always give me a positive mindset. That's the way we want to do it. Okay. One historical aviation event you wish you could have witnessed?
1903, December, Wright Brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that just yesterday as well.
Oh, you had?
Yeah,
that was
good.
very...
Yeah. Okay. Future of aviation, electric planes or supersonic travel?
Both.
Okay. And one innovation you think will change air travel in the next decade?
I think aerial mobility in terms of eVTOL is going to change the business.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something I think we're all going to have to look out and see how it connects into the ecosystem. So, brilliant. You'll be pleased to know that's the end of the quick fire round.
All right.
I think you did really well. Thank
you.
you. Some really good answers there as well. So look, Bjorn, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for stopping by. We know how precious your time is, and I know you're trying to squeeze as much out of this conference as we are. So thank you very much for your time. We wish you the very, very best with Norse Atlantic, and look forward to the value you're going to be providing customers. So be sure to check them out. And at the same time, as we said, this episode will be going up shortly. So make sure you like, subscribe, and we can get people like Bjorn along and many others to come and share more about their stories and also what they're doing right now. So thank you very much. That's us out. Keep flying high.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bjorn.